for the books to come, may I request our president to just give away some club mementos to our honored guests. Yeah, they're formally holding up the books for all of us to see. Democracy 11 by Rajdeep Sardesai.
This combination that you have in Rajdeep, son of an illustrious cricketer, played the game at the first class level, covered the game in the 90s as a journalist of sport, then has a career in journalism, does politics, can weave sport and politics which understands, or the lens that understands modern India, and to do it, a part of his Democracy is 11, a very dear friend, one of Bengal's biggest international brands and the greatest Bengal has produced in terms of sport. Who better than Saurav Ganguly? So Saurav, I will start with you before I go to Rajdeep. This has to get clear once and for all. Rajdeep Sardesai writes that, and this is very linked to today, so as a newscaster I have to ask him this. Conditions, what we've seen today, 17 for 3. Rajdeep writes 2001, Steve Waugh heard you talk on the phone to the groundsman saying you want a spinning wicket. And as a result, Steve was miffed and writes a column. To give it back to Steve, you made him wait at the toss. Over to you.
Firstly, good evening everyone. It's lovely to be here this evening and share the stage with Rajdeep and Boria. Rajdeep's a dear friend. Doesn't matter what he writes and what he says, but he's a dear friend. Sometimes when friends are dear, you tolerate them. You listen to whatever they say and whatever they write. I don't know where Rajdeep got from, which phone call he tapped and which phone call he heard. Recently he was on his network. There were issues of phone call being tapped. I don't know whether Rajdeep was a part of that or not. But ultimately 2001 was a long way away, 16 years ago. And what mattered to me was whether we win the series or not, and we did that at the end of 3 test matches. Probably one of the best cricket I have played, and I think Rajdeep will agree, probably one of the best cricket he has seen for a long, long time. So that's what matters at the end, whether you ask somebody to wait, whether you are loggerheads with him at that particular moment. It's all gamesmanship, and I leave it at that.
Saurav Ganguly has the unique ability to make this crowd wait and Steve Waugh wait. As I write in the book, if there is any cricketer who perhaps has the ability to make the transition to politics and cricket administration, it's Saurav. And one of the traits that you must have as a politician is to be able to make a large crowd wait. Because you've got to make sure that till the hall is full, you can't come in. You see, so making Steve Waugh wait was...
But I'll tell you one thing, he said that. Today when I went in the morning at 8:30 at Eden Gardens, there were only 2 teams, me and my assistant secretary. So it's not always true that it has to be full.
I have to come in there. Folks,
Rajdeep in the morning, Rajdeep must have been sleeping in a
he was on a flight.
And I was up cleaning Eden Gardens and getting ready for Rajdeep to watch it, do his 9 o'clock show in the night.
But that's exactly what Mamta does in politics.
Memory from the book, page 249. Saurav Ganguly was asked by Rajdeep Sardesai, yes folks, do you want to be Chief Minister of Bengal? Okay? And Rajdeep says Saurav's answer was no, but he had a glint in his eye.
I thought that this was a cricket book. This was a cricket book we are launching, and probably Rajdeep's favorite captains, which are Dhoni, Dravid, Pataudi, Bedi, Kohli, Azharuddin, Sachin, myself, Gavaskar and Kapil. So I don't see a politician here, so I don't know why this question is. And secondly, Rajdeep, you just got scolded by the former President of India on TV. You remember that or not? Now I am younger to you, I am your friend, and I can't scold you. So
look, I have a bad record.
You still take such risks in life, you know. And I saw that interview. Even the very well-behaved, quiet, aged Pranab Babu scolded you. So
Boria, I have a bad record with Bengalis. I get scolded at home by my wife, and I get scolded by Pranab Mukherjee.
Yeah, and if you write things like Mishti Doi versus Shrika, you will get scolded every day in Bengal.
Well, you know, as I start the Saurav chapter, it starts with my mother-in-law, who sort of, you know, like many Bengalis, believed in the notion of Bengali exceptionalism and thought that the Bengalis, you know, there was something special about them except on the cricket field. I think she accepted for the longest time that sport, especially cricket, was dominated by Mumbai and the Maharashtra monopoly in a way. Till along comes Saurav Ganguly. So in a sense, the significance of Saurav, I mean, okay, we can jest about whether he'll be Chief Minister of Bengal, but there is no other cricketer, honestly, who is so identified with a particular region or state as Saurav is. So I think in that sense, he is an original Bengali folk hero. Now, this is a state where folk heroes can well tomorrow transition into politicians. The only other state where that happens is Tamil Nadu, and that happens with cinema stars there.
But don't you think more than a Bengali folk hero, I mean, come to 2000 and you've written about it, the juncture when Saurav takes over captaincy and what happened thereafter, I mean, I think does justice to the title. Democracy is 11, bringing Sehwag, Zahir, Harbhajan, all of these people. Actual meritocracy happens in Indian cricket under him. So in that sense, isn't he not an Indian hero rather than being a Bengali hero?
Of course he is, but I don't know whether the Bengalis will appreciate that. You see, outside Bengal, we see him as an Indian hero, but
let's ask him.
I think the Bengalis for the longest time wanted someone whom they could call their own, who could lead an Indian team, who would be part of this level. So I agree with you entirely, he's an Indian hero. But the Bengalis saw him as one of their own in a way that no other state perhaps sees.
We have appropriated you, both of us, Bengali, Indian. How do you see yourself?
I just listen. You can say whatever you want. Bengal hero, Indian hero. All what matters for me is those 100 test matches. That's what important. You know, that's what I wanted to do in life. When my father first gave me a cricket bat, he said, "You go out and play." Because he was the secretary of the Cricket Association of Bengal, and I, just like Rajdeep, I came from a family which loved the sport. Rajdeep's father was an outstanding cricketer for India, and if anybody would have told me that day that Saurav will go on to play 100 test matches, I said, you must be joking. That's what remains with me. It doesn't matter which hero I am, whether from India, whether it's Bangladesh, or whether it's India, but that's what's important, and that will remain with me.
Question to you then. But actually what he does right, and I think he's absolutely spot on, is when you took over as captain, our overseas record, and the self-belief that, and he mentions this, that your number of wins, much more, 10, 11, whatever it is, that self-belief was done by you by bringing in a sort of meritocracy, which is what stands out in his book, Democracy is 11. Can you give us your thought process at that point in time, and I'll go to Rajdeep.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons, you know, because whether it's my nature or that's the way I've looked at life, you know, I never wanted to do something which is common and which has happened before. The other day, my daughter, she's grown up now and she started to understand the game a bit. She was going through one of the internet sites and he picked up a site where it showed the top 5 Indian players of all time in terms of number of matches and number of runs. So I was happy to see that. Forget about me being captain. You know, it was Ganguly, Tendulkar, Dravid, Virender Sehwag. You know, that sums up the success of the